1976. Ares 1, the first manned mission to Mars, where the best and brightest Earth had to offer began to see the potential of our beautiful red planet. 1979. The first Martian settlement, when we learned that the red planet was no challenge to good old corporate ingenuity. 1982. When Mars truly began to see itself not simply as a waypoint in space, but as a civilization. A civilization that continued to grow until 1991, when we as a people realized we no longer needed to be constrained by the corrupt and inefficient governments of Earth. And in that year, we seceded from humanity's birthplace and made Mars our only home. But we knew that such an action would not go unanswered, and to defend ourselves from potential earthly aggression, we, under the wise guidance of the presidents of various Martian megacorporations, decided to proactively defend ourselves by attacking the Earth. A war to prevent any dark plans the governments of Earth were obviously planning to enact against us. A war where we were ultimately victorious. Some would say that our methods were brutal, that it left Earth a devastated and irradiated wasteland with scattered outposts of humanity, surrounded by ruthless car gangs, mutated monstrosities, and, zombies. We still aren't sure which of the various weapons of mass destruction we employed caused that particular side effect, but rest assured corporate scientists are working around the clock to ensure that doesn't happen again. Where was I? Ah, right. Although some would say we took it too far, I say no. I say Earth was already on the path of self-destruction. Our attack was more of a mercy killing, a necessary brutal and savage murder of the old, so that, with corporate guidance, a new and better way of life could emerge. Because, viewers, we aren't monsters. We're Martians. Unlike the pathetic and degenerate humans that live on Earth now, we believe in uplifting people, showing them a way to free themselves from the terrible life of their own making. And what better way to do that than with entertainment? That's why the network exists, to allow those on Earth to gain the attention and support of those on Mars through the only language those Earthers understand: violence. For years, you have all seen numerous shows come and go on the network, whether that was the bloody gladiator game show Chainsaw Wars, or the even bloodier sitcom Love and Murder. But there has been one show that, I believe, is the epitome of what the network is all about. Death races, arenas of death, capture the flag, flag tag, and the fan favorite, Saturday Night Live. All of these spectacular events allowing Gaslands TV to take the #1 slot in the network and make each year even more spectacular and explosive than the last. And this year is no exception. In honor of Gaslands' 10-year anniversary, I am giving this year's murder races a chance of a lifetime, a prize any Earther would murder their family for, a one-way ticket to Mars, a chance to start a new life on the greatest planet in the solar system. I can already hear those highway warriors getting ready to spend every can of gasoline they have to buy the best weapons and car parts they can for this chance, purchasing everything from speedy Beetles to massive war rigs, and outfitting them all with all manners of Gatling guns, rocket launchers, and other more esoteric and exciting weaponry. But all that mechanical mayhem isn't cheap, viewers, and to have a chance on those crater-laden roads you need a sponsor to foot the bill. And with a prize like this on the line, you can bet your butt that there are tons of potential sponsors nipping at the heels to get their name attached to a possible winning team. Grant Rutherford is proof positive that even on Earth, a diamond can be forged in the muck. From a long, proud line of military-inclined oil barons, he quickly earned the right for him and his corporate assets to join with us on Mars. Anyone he sponsors is guaranteed to get their choice of military surplus he has hidden away in what's left of old America. Andrei Mishkin, the former Russian engineer, uses his high-tech genius to craft all manner of devastating and electrifying weaponry. He sees Gaslands as a great opportunity to have his sponsored team showcase his latest work for his potential clients. Admittedly, these are prototypes, so there is a slight chance they might explode, but I'm sure it's worth the risk for whatever advantage those weapons may bring. Yandi Idris was a sensation on Gaslands, the greatest driver anyone had ever seen. He used to say he could feel the road underneath his wheels like they were a part of him. It's a feeling that guided him well, until of course, his car burst into flames as it crossed his final finish line. Even now, there are people who try to mimic his abilities, forming a sort of cult of speed and hoping to be the next god of the road. A few, however, have taken this cult thing perhaps a bit too far, forming an actual religion called the Order Inferno. They believe that since Yandi's body was never found, he must have transcended and become some sort of spiritual being, or even a god. I say his body was most likely just disintegrated, but who am I to judge? Speaking of the supernatural, I should warn you viewers, it's been said that Beverly, the devil of the highway, might make her presence known. Her corroded bumpers and ghostly wheels seeking vengeance against the living. Seriously, what will these Earthers think of next? Growing up on the ruins of old Tokyo, Yuri Miyazaki pulled herself up by her bootstraps to build a courier service that does jobs for the wealthiest and most desperate clients in the city. It's said that her drivers are some of the best in the world, and I'm sure those she sponsors will learn a thing or two about becoming driving virtuosos. And I know there has been rumors about her being part of some Earth resistance. But honestly viewers, the idea of a few Tokyo drifters taking down a mega corporation is just laughable. Slime rules a wild and feral city on the continent of Australia cleverly called Anarchy. And although a bit chaotic, her thousands of adoring followers in that wild wasteland all put on a heck of a show for the Gasland audience, performing the wildest tricks because they love living fast and don't mind if they die a bit young. Scarlet is a raider, although I believe she prefers the term buccaneer, ransacking towns across the wastelands, and press ganging and keel hauling people whenever the mood strikes her. Having her be your sponsor means plenty of pirate booty, and being part of a fierce crew. On the other hand, make sure not to disappoint her, or she may make you walk the plank. Now, not everyone is aiming to just look good for the cameras. A few get on Gaslands for what they see as a higher purpose. The members of the Highway Patrol, for example, are those folks who, for whatever reason, try to enforce some form of law and order on the roads, believing themselves to be judge, jury, and executioner. A thankless task in the lawless wastelands. But if having a shiny badge makes them feel better, who am I to judge? And those few criminals who the Highway Patrol bother to capture alive might be brought to Cadiela, the warden of Sao Paulo Penitentiary. And if they're extra lucky, they might be given a chance at freedom. The warden offering them the opportunity to participate in Gaslands, driving one of his prison cars. Sure, there is a slight chance you might burn alive in a car crash, since you can't escape from the thing. But compared to prison, it's a chance many are willing to take. Many of you might think that this offer from the warden is a false freedom, but I assure you it is quite real, as former prisoner Vernie can attest. Living long enough to earn his freedom, and even gain the warden's grudging respect. Although it probably helped that Vernie was also a fantastic engineer, crafting microplate armor for the warden's prison cars, that other drivers can also purchase for a fairly reasonable fee. Now I'm sure many of you viewers are tired of seeing my handsome face, and want to see the carnage. But first, it wouldn't be a proper Gasland season without a performance by Maxine and her Black Swans. Her car ballets are a work of art, and from what I hear, her team's newest performance, Maximum Drift, will be truly spectacular. So to our Martian viewers, ready your best wine. And for our Earth viewers, make sure to grab your least corrosive bottle of Rusty Bootlegger's Peach Moonshine, because in a few minutes, the show of the decade will begin. Hey guys, I hope you enjoyed this video on the miniature racing war game Gaslands. If you like the lore and are interested in how it's played, here's a link down below in the show notes to Ash Barker's Guerrilla Miniatures Games channel, where it basically showcases how to play the particular game. From what I've seen, it looks pretty fun. If you like this video and you're inclined, please consider liking, subscribing, pressing the bell. You know the drill, so that the YouTube gods can see that people are interested in my content, and hopefully it can be pushed out to more people who might be inclined to like it. If you really like it, and also if you're inclined, and only if you're the cash, please also consider giving to my Patreon or my Coffee account, also linked below. The extra money gives me the time I need to work on these stories I love. Anyway, thanks for listening/watching, and see you next time.